Hey everyone! So we hit a bit of a milestone. We hit 100 subscribers! Yay! And so I wanted to do something special to kind of commemorate this. And I know I haven't been able to give something to you guys in a little while, so I thought it'd be fun to do a kind of Q&A. So what I did is that I asked some students to write me some questions, and I'm going to be answering those questions today for my viewers, and I just really appreciate that you guys have watched, and I'm just so happy that I'm able to do this for you guys. But I thought I would need some help today for this, so I do have a guest for us today. So, hello! Alright, this is my twin sister. She's going to be helping me ask these questions as I answer them. This is Miss Crystal, and she is, again, my sister. Why don't you tell us really quickly, what do you do?
I'm a nurse. I did 2 years in the NICU, which is where you take care of the little premature babies. And then I decided I wanted to be comfortable with adults, so I moved to home care. And actually, as of today, I'm going to move into something called palliative care. So a lot of movement, a lot of options for being a nurse.
And just because I know I will have some students and maybe some viewers asking, what is palliative care?
So palliative care is more of a complex case management of someone with a really severe illness like diabetes or COPD or heart failure. It's really hard to control, so they have people like us that can help teach them a little bit about it and help better care for themselves.
Very cool. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Again, these are questions that I have not read yet. Although I did have my brother go through these to get rid of any of them that would have been
a little off-base,
maybe a little distasteful. But you know what, surprisingly, there weren't a lot that were like really that bad.
Not too out there?
No, they weren't that bad at all. But could have been anonymous, but so anything could have been on them. But again, I'm just so proud of them because nobody did anything like super inappropriate.
Good job, guys.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so let's get started.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick from the basket and we'll see what is in here.
Basket of questions. Okay.
Number 1, do you have OCD, obsessive cleaning disorder?
Okay, so I want to say yes, but I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody who actually does have OCD. Although I'm pretty sure that when we were little, we had something. We were a little odd when we were little. I would have to walk in people's footsteps, and I would always be looking down, and looking back, I'm like, wow, I was really weird. So I might have had a little, actual OCD for some things, but for, what was it, cleaning?
This is obsessive cleaning, not compulsive, which is more of like rituals.
I mean, I like cleaning. If anything, I clean a lot when I'm stressed or when I'm, procrastinating. It's like, hey, I have to get this project done.
Better clean.
Or I could clean, exactly. All right.
Do you play Call of Duty? If you do you play with a 360 no scopes?
360 no scope. The answer is, I used to play. I don't have an Xbox, but I used to play a lot with my brother who does have an Xbox. And I was just really bad at it. If anything, I was better at Halo when my brother didn't have Xbox Live, and we would just play together all the time. And my brother would always beat me, but I did okay. 360 no scope, probably not, no. But, I'm not going to knock it because I have enjoyed the game. I'm just not really good at first-person shooters. What about you?
I loathe playing shooters. I can't get there in time. It just, in the pinball crosshairs, it never works out. More of a role-playing game.
Yeah, I agree.
How are you always so perky? Happy?
I'm not.
One, I went into something that I knew I loved. I love education, and I think I have the coolest job in the world. I get to go into a workspace that is an entire room that is mine, and I get to share that with people who I care about, being my students. I get to see the same people every day, and I look forward to seeing them. I don't loathe my job. I don't get up and when I'm driving to work think, I hate this. I love it. I plan on what I'm going to say. What have I been wondering about with some of my students? I like talking to them. I have the coolest job in the world. in my opinion. I get to teach what I love. I get to literally hang out with some of the coolest people being my students, and I have great coworkers as well, and I have great administrators, and it's a really good just community as a whole. I get to hang out with students and teach them things I know, and I just think that's the coolest thing in the world.
We'll move along here. Oh, this one's in Christmas colors.
That is a thank you note.
Oh,
That's another thank you note. Well, then we'll skip
that one.
That's another one I showed you for him.
I'm just grabbing the wrong ones. All right, this looks like it has a couple of them. What are your favorite pastimes?
Oh, my favorite pastimes, first three that I think of are video games. I love video games. I've always liked playing video games. I love reading. I know that's probably a given due to me teaching like English. Mostly fantasy is where I'm most comfortable. That's my like happy place, my genre that I like. I really like creating things like sewing, writing, just being able to be creative and have a like final product that I can present somebody with. You can jump in on some answers anytime you want, like if you want to like add or contribute.
Copy paste. That sounded good to me. Have you enjoyed teaching here at AO?
Yes.
Solid answer.
Do I need more?
No, that was
no,
perfect.
Yes, absolutely.
What is your favorite gaming console? These are good questions.
They are my favorite.
The next one is even harder.
My favorite gaming console. Okay, when I was little, my first gaming console that we ever had was a Nintendo 64, and it was like our life. We lived on a farm, so we played outside a lot, but if we were inside or if it was raining or something like that, we would play like Super Mario 64, we would play Mario Kart, we'd play Yoshi's Story, we'd play Star Fox. There's probably a bunch of them that I'm forgetting right now, but yeah, N64 was my all-time favorite, but just recently, I've become more of a PC gamer.
Well, get ready for an even harder question. What is your favorite game? Like I'm taking this like video game, board game, sports. I don't know.
That's really hard.
That's a very open question.
Okay, so I'm gonna basically stem that from like, oh man, that's hard.
I know.
I'm gonna just go with what I've been doing recently. So I'm gonna go with the vein of video games because normally if I do have a pastime, I'm playing a video game. So there's this game called Don't Starve, and it's on Steam, and I just checked, I have 101 hours on that game. It's Don't Starve Together, and then there's Don't Starve where you just play by yourself. That I've logged like 37 hours on. There's this game on Battle.net called Heroes of the Storm. I've been pretty obsessed with that, playing that with my friends. I just started playing WoW, World of Warcraft. I have a month on that. I'm level 5 right now. I'm a paladin human.
All right, what made you want to be a teacher?
There's like the cliche, I wanted to help people, or I didn't have good teachers, and so I wanted to be better, but I had pretty good teachers. I remember my 8th grade year, I had a teacher named Mrs. Miller, and some people didn't like her, but I thought she was absolutely amazing, and I just liked how she interacted with people, and she was like really down to earth with me, and she made learning English fun. She made reading fun, but I've always liked reading. Like I've always been attracted to stories and literature and things like that. I know how hard it can be to be in school, like a middle schooler or a high schooler, and still have other things going on outside of school that you don't really have any control over. And you know what I mean by this. Mm-hmm. Things that you don't have control over as a child, and you feel like you have the capabilities to be an adult, but people don't treat you like an adult, and that can be very frustrating. And so my main thing is why I like, one, I love my content. I love language arts. I love reading, but I want to be able to communicate with my students because I know life's not easy to be a middle schooler, even though everyone's like, oh, you're in middle school, your problems haven't even started. Like, yes, they have. And
middle school was hard.
Yeah, people don't understand that. There are so many social components. There are, like, family problems that people don't tell about. There are all these adult situations you're suddenly having thrust upon you, and people don't take the time to recognize that they go through that. Like, I went through that, you went through that, like, everyone goes through that, but we forget when we get caught up in being an adult, and I don't feel like that's fair to my students. So I wanted to be a teacher that would recognize and try to help. Like, I always want to help, but I want them to know I understand, and that can be hard to do.
If you had a choice between math and science, which one would you teach?
Okay.
I know which one I would teach.
All right, so that's a kind of a loaded question, because if one of my students wrote that question, and I'm not saying this because I'm proud. I'm not proud. I cannot go a day with passing out a paper to my students at least one time. There's more. I cannot count the number of papers I need. And you know what? They're always really nice about it too. You gave us an extra. We need an extra. You forgot the whole row.
Oh.
Like, it's that bad. I can't, like, count to pass them out. And you know how, like, some teachers will, like, lick their hands and, like, pass it out?
I recall.
I, like, can't do that because it, like, freaks me out to, like...
Well, it's like, you're a class, I'm just gonna get you all sick.
Yeah, so, my answer is science, because even if I liked math, I couldn't teach it.
Mm-hmm.
Besides, I think science is more interesting, and I mean, math is amazing. It doesn't click for me, if that makes sense. So I would go with science because I think it's interesting, although it was never my strong point.
It was my strong point. Yours was, obviously, the language arts.
Yeah.
Yep. What are the first 5 things on your bucket list? Love, Kay.
Okay. Bucket list. Okay. 1, I would like to get married one day. 2, I would really love to go to the Manatee Reserve in Florida. And I don't care if I even see them, but I'd really like to pet a manatee.
You'd probably see him if you're gonna pet him.
Yeah. Something else. I would really like to travel and maybe go to Ireland one day, or maybe New Zealand, or somewhere in Europe. I think would be really cool. Maybe get a master's. I'd like to get my master's degree eventually. And 5.
4 is good.
Okay, I'm gonna go
4 is
with 4.
good.
I'm sorry.
If you think of one later, they'll be like, hey, my 5th bucket list.
Okay.
What camera do you use? And what kind of recording software? I feel like that's an editor question.
That's an editor question.
What kind of software?
Final Cut Pro.
Final Cut Pro.
Camera will remain a mystery until further notice.
We are figuring that out right now.
It's a Panasonic something or other.
It's a Panasonic something
So,
or other.
at least it leads you guys on the right path. How do you have so much energy? What keeps you happy throughout the day? What type of things do you like, as in candy or drinks?
That's like multiple questions.
So how do you keep your energy? What keeps you happy?
Well, I love my job. A big thing that I changed last year was I stopped dwelling on things I cannot change. If I cannot change it, why should I be upset? It's just bringing me down, and I don't want to live that way, and I'm a happier person when I know that what I do have control over, I will make positive. So if it's something that I can't control, let it go. And I really recommend that my students do that, because we run into a lot, and again, it's a middle school thing, and it's a who you're stuck with. You guys are stuck with these same people all the time. And that goes for anybody in the workplace as well. If you're stuck with the same people over and over and over again, eventually conflicts will come out of it. But if it's a conflict that you can handle, then handle it and make it positive. But if you can't, then let it go. It just makes life so much easier. I just let go of what I can't control, and that makes me happy.
I think that's solid advice for anyone, not just middle schoolers, high schoolers, whenever you get into the workforce, college, just let it go.
Yep.
So what types of things do you like, as in candy or drinks?
You know, I've really let go of a lot of soda in the past few years, and I feel really good about it. I push water a lot, like even if it's like lemon, like juice in water is really, really good. Just trying to be healthier in general, drinking lots of water. Other than that, cherry Coke is delicious.
Dr. Pepper's where it's at.
As for, what was it, candy?
Yeah.
I can't think of any candy that I'm like, candy.
If I may make a recommendation, Wonka candy.
Shockers.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, or sweet tarts. Just, it's tangy and sour.
Go for Shockers.
Warheads. You like Warheads?
Yeah, I do.
I would like to see Cory in one of your videos. It's a statement.
That's not a question.
It's not a question. We want to see Cory.
We'll have him ask me a question so we can
I picked one.
we can see him on camera.
Okay. Do you want him to do that now?
Go. Hi.
Hi.
So this is Cory. This is my boyfriend. He also edits all of my videos. He also has his own YouTube channel that just hit. You have over 400 subscribers now.
Yeah, I don't know how, but
Cool.
apparently random people subscribe, so.
All right. Do you have a question?
I think one of your fans of those. One of your,
Cool.
but
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Did you read this first?
Maybe.
What's the question?
Do you and Cory plan go getting married? Plan on getting married?
Plan go.
Well, that's what they put.
Need to teach better. Teach better English.
Do we plan go getting married?
Do you and Cory plan go getting married? Okay. English.
Yeah, that's the most important part here. Is the
What's the answer?
Well, I guess I asked you the question. But that's not a proposal.
Yes.
There you have it. You heard it here first.
Okay. Thank you.
Alright, so on that note, we are going to wrap up this video. I still have lots of questions left over. I'm sorry we couldn't get to them in this video. I will definitely try to do another video sometime soon, maybe with this, but I had a lot of fun doing this with you guys and having some guest speakers, plural now, and I just had a lot of fun doing this. Thank you for doing this for me, with me,
Thank you for
us.
inviting me to come, talk to your kids and everything, kind of help celebrate you getting 100 subscribers. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. All right, and do you know what's my outro? What do I always say to my kids?
Don't be afraid to learn.
Bye, guys.